And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Hour, we have our Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming, the best Protoss in all of Europa. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player himself, the Tuna Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. If you're in the chat, predictions, Pappy, predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think this series will unfold. Best of luck. Best of luck in the Twitch chat. As for now, we are going to be settling in. Again, Ryung, he had close games against MaxPax last night, but MaxPax took the 3-0. He still took the 3-0 over Ryung, but some very close games. We had some close macro games. Remember the game on Post Youth? It was very back and forth. It went all the way to late game. We had almost a split map scenario, and then Ryung was caught out of position. One time he was caught out. We took some big novas to the face, and then MaxPax snowballed very quickly into a win from there. Meanwhile, we had Ryung going for an all-in. He went for a 2-base all-in, and alas, it barely did not pay off. It was on Crimson Court, if you remember. Such a close all-in out of Ryung on Crimson Court, where MaxPax had invested into DTs, and because Ryung was all-in, Ryung had limited scans, and the DTs did wreak havoc, that our Templar did allow MaxPax to survive the all-in. So again, very close games. If you missed out, I recommend the VODs. I do recommend the VODs. I feel like my summary doesn't do justice to the games themselves. It was just some really, really intense TvPs. So do check it out if you're interested, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch. VODs are available on both platforms. For now, we're settling in. We are going to be settling in. As Ryung is going for a double gas opener, double gas into a faster factory. Meanwhile at home, we do have the Gate Cyber expand. Everything looking as it should. Again, really we expect like more standard play out of MaxPax. I say standard play. The most aggressive that we see out of MaxPax in this kind of matchup is 4-gate blink. So we'll keep an eye on the gateway count. We'll keep an eye on the tech of choice. From the side of Ryung, anything is possible. Also, I got ahead of myself. Hello, Mr. Pylon. Hello, Mr. Probe. What's going on? What's happening? Pylon is done, and we can set up for a proxy gateway to reinforce across the map to be the aggressor instead. And there it is, gateway's on the way. So with this MaxPax, he can reinforce across the map and be that much more assertive, apply pressure, move out, and deny the expansion. Meanwhile, we can see the CC is on the high ground. Thankfully, if the CC was on the low ground, then Ryung would be exposed, he'd be vulnerable. But it's being made on the high ground, it's going to be safe and sound, it will finish. Meanwhile, behind this, going for a 1-1-1 follow-up. Tech Lab on the factory. Do we go for a fast tank or do we go for an add-on swap? There it is, fast tank is on the way. Ryung setting up for a tank drop. Very aggressive build here, setting up for what looks to be a double tank drop with our medevac, of course. The adept has arrived. And what does MaxPax see? Not much. He did not see the production, did not see the add-ons. MaxPax saw the expansion, but that's all he saw. Twilight Council follow-up out of our Protoss player. So you have that Twilight Council on the way. And back at home, there's that second tank in production. Medevac should be on the horizon, and we should soon be moving out across the map. And this is designed to, I mean, I don't think this is going to be the all-in variation. It's very committed, though. We may just pull some of the boys with this. We'll see. Very committed nonetheless. This is designed to break through the natural or even get into the main. But Adepts and Stalkers, they do arrive. They do trade here with some of these Stalkers. The tank is going to have to reveal itself. Yeah, the Adept shades in. The tank is shown. And now MaxPax is aware of what's going on. Yeah, he denies the natural. He does deny any kind of economy, any kind of mining. Again, this more aggressive setup by MaxPax. Just make sure he contains Ryung, and he's stuck at home. Again, these tanks, they wanted to be across the map, and they're stuck at home instead. We're still going for a marine drop nonetheless. Ryung trying to force MaxPax to back off with that drop. The tanks will hold the main, but behind this, MaxPax happily just saturating his bases. Blink is on the way. Robo as well. And it's going to be a while here before Ryung can finally expand. Brutal position for the Terran. Drop comes in, we have a warp in, we have Stalkers. No blink, but these are vanilla Marines. Like, they can't do much. Yeah, they can't do much across the map. Ryung has to pull back. Does have to pull back. Tank's trying to keep up with pulling Ryung apart. The Marines. And Marines are falling one after the other. These trays are just too efficient, too brutal. Ryung is barely going to hold on, but again, he's still on one base economy. But finally, he's expanding. And Blink is almost done. And with the arrival of Blink, we can avoid the main army. We can head into the main. We have options once we have high ground vision. MaxPax taking a third. Tank is exposed, and can we focus it out? We can! Oh, the tank goes down. And Ryung has that much less pushing power. Now, he did go into Banshees, and we do have our first Banshee moving out across the map. Cloak is done. This Banshee has a lot of work to do. We have Soldiers, we have the Observer. We do have an Observer across the map. Uh-oh. Herbs are going down. Ryung, he's got some counter damage. Yeah, we force the Observer to recall. At the same time, we dive on the main army. We do respond in time. We do blink away. Observer's recalled. The Banshee moves back. At the same time, we have a Banshee in the center of the map, catching out some Stalkers, and Ryung is pushing. And he needs to get damage done. He's going for the third. Going for the third base. Picking away at these Stalkers. Tank does siege. Just in time. We do catch the Banshee. Banshee's going to go down. MaxPax rotates over. Does rotate a Ryung. Unable to really move out. Still rallying across the map. The Observer does get eyes on this. As soon as Ryung unsieges, the Stalkers are going to move in. So Ryung has to be very careful with how he does maneuver. So MaxPax does rotate, catching reinforcements. The Banshee! Oh my god. Okay, SV goes down. Banshee survives. We have the scan! He's down there by Ryung. Does realize, like, hold up, you see too much. What's going on? Does get eyes on the Observer. Slowly sieging forward. Tank volley's going up. Yeah, we have to slowly leapfrog forward with these tanks. Making sure we don't get caught unsieged. Stalkers coming in from behind. Immortals from the left. Colossus has arrived. I feel like Ryung is taking too long. I mean, he can still make moves happen with this army, but it's not going to be easy here. Tank volley's going up. The army is spotted. Ryung gonna pull back. Meanwhile, back at home, 3rd CC. So Ryung's expanded. 3rd CC's on the way. Ooh, we catch another tank. Oh my god. Brutal. Back at home, Ryung, he's exposed. So much of his army across the map, and tanks are going down. Production as well. Maybe even the 3rd CC. 3rd CC's under fire. Army does race back. Boys are being pulled. Chargers from behind. They catch the tanks. And GG gets called. That proxy gate from the start of the game paying off, and MaxPax takes game number 1. Whew. GG. A much more aggressive MaxPax than we saw in the last series, than we saw last night in WTL. Much more aggressive here out of MaxPax, and it did catch Ryung off guard because of Ryung's opener. He was left vulnerable, he was left exposed, and Ryung, he was pulled apart early on. He tried to embrace his own build and go into his own tank drop, but because of the aggression of MaxPax, he shut Ryung down before he could really get going. Did shut him down. And with that, MaxPax takes a lead. Does take a lead, and now we're here waiting to embrace Game 2. Can we bounce back and force an ace match, or will MaxPax make it to the quarterfinals where he has an opponent ready and waiting? Very little downtime. Very little downtime here tonight. Here we go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. We go. are going to be settling in. Again, we saw MaxPax be the aggressor in the last game, going for the proxy. I don't expect to see that again. Likewise, I don't expect Ryung to be anywhere near as bold with his opener. Most likely we'll calm things down and settle in. The probe scout is coming forward. Ryung going for an economic opener. This time it's going to be a Rax expand. So single gas into a faster CC. So already Ryung is mixing it up. Is going for a much more economic opener. Is going to be mixing it up here. We can see MaxPax being a nuisance is going to delay the expansion. And does delay for a couple of seconds there. Was thrown down at the 420 minerals. Nice. That's what we say, right? That's but is going to be thrown down. And back at home, we're going for interesting a Zealot first. Okay, once again, MaxPax wants to be the aggressor. Going Zealot first into, we can go into a Stalker or an Adept to reinforce. There we go, Adept is on the way, just shade across the map. And our goal here is to delay the expansion. To get on top of the CC. And to get on top of that building SCV and delay the expansion for as long as we can. The Zealot is on the way. As Zealot moves out, the Reaper does miss it. Does not quite confirm. Doesn't quite confirm. Zealot heads towards the low ground. Reaper going to be pinned back by that Adept. And we do delay the CC. The SCV is going to go down. We get the building worker. Behind this, that is a second Rax already. Okay, this could be the beginning of a 2-base all-in. After MaxPax's aggression in Game 1, Ryung, he's here to turn up the heat in Game number 2. What I'm referring to is no starport. No starport here by Ryung. But before we can talk about the follow-up, we have to talk about what's here and now. And that's a shade in. First Zelda is going to go down. We saw 3 Marines. We hold the line and we do force that Adept back. We defend. But that's going to be 4 SCV kills. Oh my god. Yeah, brutal damage. 4 SCVs for 1 Adept. Well worth it for MaxPax. Now he reinforces with another Adept. Shading on the army. Collapsing on the Marines. Behind this is going to be a 2-on-1 starport follow-up. We have a safety Cyclone. Thankfully, though, with the Cyclone, we defend. We do defend. We even hunt down one of the Adepts. Good pickup. Adept does fall. Okay, so again, a 2-on-1 variation from Ryung. No add-ons on the Max. There we go. I was going to say no add-ons yet, but we have the Reactor and now the Tech Lab on the way. It's going to be for Stim. Likewise, we go for an add-on swap as well. We do not. Okay. You have my attention. Do you have my attention here? We'll see how this all comes together. I would typically expect this to be a Stim timing, as we do prioritize Stim a lot faster than we would in a normal build. A more standard setup. So Stim should soon be on the way. Meanwhile, across the map, MaxPax just calming things down. Blink about to finish up. And how many gateways do we have? 2. Sorry, 3. 3 gates set up, which means we can reinforce. We can apply more pressure. Yeah, the War Prism's on the way, and we cash the Cyclone. Ooh, just barely not. Clutch save out of Ryung. Pulls away, saves the Cyclone. We fully wall up. Do fully wall up here. Catching the Widowmine. Ryung still trying to build up into the mid game, still being contained. Oh, massive tank shot going up, and Ryung is holding on. But here come the reinforcements again. We can warp in 3 Stalkers at a time. We have 1 tank on the low ground. What about the main? The main is looking pretty exposed. No tank, no bunker, nothing in position. And MaxPax is making his way right into the main base. 3rd CC's on the way. We can't deny it. I mean, we'll see what we go for. The SCVs, the production. GG gets called, yeah. The SCVs of production or just the game itself, as MaxPax catches Ryung completely off guard and takes the series 2-0. GG. Yeah, Ryung completely pulled apart there. The build itself just was really still getting going, and unfortunately was just not prepared, not ready at all for the follow-up blink. Again, Ryung wasn't able to scout, wasn't able to confirm how aggressive or how committed MaxPax was going to be. Took a risk and did take advantage of him. GG, MaxPax advances on. Whew, GG, well played, and we have our next series. We have our opponents. We're heading over to the European region. Let's go. Let us go as we switch our scenes over and have a look at the bracket and catch up what's been going on. I believe the quarterfinals, for the most part, are underway. I believe.